Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. Alright, today's little adventure. So what I'm going to do, I'm in Chicago at home, and I'm going to catch a flight out to Newark, basically New York City area. And my buddy Rob Janos, aka Rob Thanos, is going to pick me up. I'm going to crash there for a night. And then tomorrow we're going to drive up to the Canadian border and go to Montreal specifically. And I've never been to Montreal, so I'm kind of excited to see what that's like. Okay, I'm at O'Hare now, so I'm going to go ahead and check in for my flight, and then I'm going to go use the Clear lane. If you've never used Clear, you absolutely should. It's the greatest thing ever. Simple reminder to just put all of your stuff in your bag. My pants, I've got nothing in my pockets at all. I know it seems like common, obvious sense, but there's a ton of people who'll be like, oh, I'm going to go through security, I'm going to wear all this metal and stuff, and then slows it down for everyone. We are beyond security, so now I have to go over to the sea gates, which requires me to once again go in the light tunnel, which is totally cool with me, but there you go, you can get a better look at the giant dinosaur over there that's supposed to be about the Field Museum, which you should totally check out if you're ever in Chicago. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm good.
Okay, we are officially at Newark Airport, and I'm in the C terminal because that's where United operates. I've got Rob Thanos here, who was cool enough to pick me up. And yeah, exactly. And I wish you could do that to this damn traffic. This is ridiculous. How do you guys live like this? No, I'm kidding.
People don't understand the concept of waiting lots.
So Rob and I have headed out before we go on to Montreal. The night before, we stopped at a place called Patties, a burger experience, where I'm going to experience Louisiana Gator Bites. Look at that, they come with Cajun fries. Not this pickle, the hell with that, that's going in the trash. But we're gonna make our own burgers, and I could get this Jersey burger, which they have sided with the whole Taylor ham argument. It's not a Jersey thing. It is not a pork roll here. However, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm going with this border burger. What about you?
I think I'm going to build a burger with the patty sauce is really good. I got to get that on a burger.
Unfortunately, these are not available right now. Shame, because he was going on.
I ate them all.
Yeah, he might have. But I ended up getting my burger, and it's going to come with Cajun fries. I told them to throw the pickle in the trash. And maybe next time we'll get this. This is clearly a SpongeBob reference, but
it's the copyright infringement burger.
Yeah, it's the legally safe SpongeBob reference with no monetary gain burger. All right, my burger is here, and it is labeled, which is kind of amusing. And there's my Cajun fries. So yeah, and that's the Rob guy right there. Look at that. Oh yeah, yeah, he's excited. Anyway, time to dive in.
This is delicious, gooey mess.
I mean, it looks like it. Look at that.
Wonderful.
Sounds good. So it's beef on the bottom and chorizo on the top. There's no cheese on this, but I think that's my fault because I didn't ask for it. I guess by default it doesn't come with it, but it's good. So that burger was fantastic. The chorizo is really what made it. So yeah, if you're ever out in wherever the hell we are,
Hamburger, I think. Yeah.
Patties Burgers. They come out to
Cow patties.
Cow patties. I've never been here. How do I know? But cow patties is good. So I can. How's your burger? It's rock on. Okay. And these fries are kind of spicy. They're the Cajun fries, but they're good. So I'm back at Rob's house now, and we just had dinner, which was pretty good. We got some desserts. We're gonna hit that. But I brought Rob something, and I guess we can share here.
Fuck is this? Ooh.
Yeah.
Cheese curd. Ooh.
Those are from Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Wisconsin cheese curds. Turn it back over. It's it's garlic and dill cheese curds. Now they're kind of room temperature right now, but that's actually the way you're supposed to eat them.
Do they squeak?
They should. It says it right on there. Squeaks.
Oh.
It's literally the biggest piece of text. So when was the last time you had cheese curds?
Eau Claire, Wisconsin, on tour in April 2009.
All right, man. Dive in.
Dive on in.
I had the cheddar ones already. I didn't bring you any of those.
Of course we're going.
You know, you can just break the tape. Yeah, it's meant to be rewrappable. You're doing this wrong.
Try to. Listen, if they're good cheese curds, it won't need to be retaped. All right. Oh. Oh, yeah. And they're squeaky.
Well, it is literally called squeaky. Do they squeak?
Does they squeak?
Do they squeak?
Have one. They're good.
I'm going to. Yeah,
Oh.
whatever. I'll have one right now.
Fuck, garlic and dill.
Yeah, there it is. That is a garlic and dill cheese curd.
Gosh, so good.
Wisconsin knows what's up. We are officially underway. We are now on our way up to Montreal. We have about 5.5 hours to go, which is actually not all that bad.
Not
honestly.
terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's closer than Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like to actually go through this border process for those who have not traveled to Canada before or have not traveled since the pandemic. Canada has unfortunately made it a lot harder to get up there. And then they're surprised that tourism is down. But anyway, because of COVID, they require negative PCR tests. Now, if you're an American citizen or an American resident, you can actually get that for free, which is strange because every other country is charging money for it, including Canada, but the U.S. is not. The only catch to that is make sure you Google a place around you that does PCR testing, COVID PCR testing for free. I promise you, you will find one. As long as you don't need it in like a one-day rush type of thing, it'll be free. So in my case, I got it in Chicago, and they told me it's going to take like 3 hours to 24 hours, which is hilarious because it's not that long. And I got mine, true to their word, within 24 hours, negative test, I'm all set. Rob got his, what was your deal?
It was about like 18 hours afterwards. I got it in the middle of the night last night.
Okay, so there you go. It basically took a day in both instances. So you have to have that. I don't think you actually have to have a vaccination card, though it makes your life a hell of a lot easier. You also, of course, have to either have a passport, or in my case, I actually have a Nexus card, which I'm one of like the 12 Americans that actually bothered to have a Nexus card. Nexus is it's the Canadian like equivalency of global entry. It's like a special card that basically says like, you're not a citizen, but you might as well be. Just come on in. It's awesome. I got it before the pandemic and whatever. So I have that, and he's got a standard passport. Either one will work. But in order to get a Nexus card, you have to sign up for it. So it's a different process altogether. So you have to have all that stuff. Your negative PCR test, vaccine card is preferred to have that as well, because you'll be less grilled about it. But anyway, the last thing you have to do is you have to fill out this app that Canada has called ArriveCan, C-A-N.
The most complicated, annoying app ever.
Like
ever
this app,
created.
this app alone is why people are not going up there right now. Yeah. Because it is annoying as hell. Like, you download this thing, you have to create an account, and then after you create an account, you have to give them overly specific details about your trip. Like, not just like your name and like, you know, proof of vaccination or whatever. You have to provide like exactly which border point you intend to cross at. And it's ineligible if you go to another one. You have to give them a time in which you're going to be there, although they're a little more flexible on that. You have to fill out like a very long series of details and a lot of repetition. Like wait, what was your name again? You know, like a lot of just stupid stuff. And then in the event that you get COVID while you're here, do you have a place where you can go for 14 days and you know, quarantine and all this stuff that you have to do? That's like,
so heads up re-res, because that's where we're probably going.
I put down like Shane's address. Oh, in the event I get COVID, I'm gonna drive down to Ontario and I'm gonna go to Shane's house. And then it's like, is there anybody in this residence that could get COVID from you? And I was like, no, it's an abandoned house, of course. Like, it's the stupidest system. But whatever. Just keep in mind, basically, you could also put down like a hotel's address. They just need like a different Canadian border guard explained this to me. He's like, they just needed to be in the system that you said you have a plan if a plan is required. But in all honesty, they don't really need it. They just need this like serial number that it produces at the end and make sure you're basically, you know, healthy and that you're probably not gonna commit crimes or whatever. So
well, you're overly healthy. You just got a booster shot.
I did. I got the third. But anyway, so yeah, that's the little precursor. What you need to go into Canada. The other one is the reason we're doing this by car is actually because of the U.S. So the U.S., if you're an American citizen and you're driving across, like back from Canada, they don't really care. They're just like, welcome back. Here's your passport. You know, give them the passport, your Nexus card, whatever, and they're like, okay, welcome home. But if you fly back, you need another PCR test. Now this is where it gets complicated, because that means you have to, because of how these PCR tests work and how they're only valid for like 72 hours, it essentially means you need to take a PCR test in Canada. Now the reason that creates problems is PCR tests in Canada are not free. It's kind of ironic considering their healthcare system. I mean, apparently they're not even free to citizens of Canada. And they can cost between like $200 to $400 Canadian, which would be probably about like, you know, $175 to like $350, something in that range, USD, to get, which is obscene. And because the US requires one on the way back. But that's again if you fly. If you drive, the US does not care. Why? I don't know. But that's why we decided, okay, tell you what, I will fly out to New York, homie here will pick me up, we'll crash at his place for a night, and then drive up, because why not just save hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and then also have a car to wander around Montreal in. Any other thoughts before we go on our poutine quest?
Quest for poutine.
I guess not. All right.
Allons-y.
Bonjour. So we decided to have some authentic Americana dining,
Really?
Cracker Barrel, on the way up, you know, one last taste of freedom before we go to Canada, where they don't have freedom, obviously.
Adam's first Cracker Barrel in like 30 years.
Yeah, I've only been there once ever in my life. Actually, whatever, the food is fine. But the coolest part about it is they have this little gift shop inside there that sells a bunch of like kitschy stuff. And we came away with some exotic food options. One, I've never seen one of these ever in my life. A Yahoo drink has a candy bar apparently, but I've never seen it before. Also, Oreo caramels, like not like cookies and cream caramels, but they're actually Oreo branded. So that's interesting. And last but not least, speaking of Oreo-like things, a pack of Hydrox. You never see Hydrox. If you've never heard of Hydrox, look it up. But in short, this created the whole like cookie sandwich cookie, and then Oreo stole the concept and ran away with it. So you really never see these anymore. It's just kind of insane. There's America, which we're still in. We're gonna have to cross back over there. But it's about time we are going to cross. We're gonna go through the maple curtain, the viscous maple curtain. And I have a Nexus card. Homie over here does not. So we can't use the Nexus lane, which is right there, which is like instant access, but it's all right. Anyway, I gotta turn this off because border control agents famously do not like when you do this. In case anybody's curious, this random X line here, which we saw a guy drive right through, that is actually the Canada side. Like as soon as you cross that first line, you're in Canada right there. That's the no touching zone. And on that side is Canada.
No touching.
That's what it's called, the no touching zone. What am I looking at?
See? The gap in the trees is the no touching
It's
zone.
what I'm saying. I'm serious. That is a real thing. It's called the no touching zone. Okay, we are officially in Canada. We crossed. It was all good. It took a little longer than we expected, but that's because we found out our guy was a trainee. And like he would have to ask us a bunch of questions. Oh, bonjour! Look at the sign.
That's your favorite word, Adam.
But yeah, anyway, so he asked us a whole bunch of questions, and then he would stop, and then his like superior would explain to him like, you know, like this is what you did right, this is what you did wrong. And he's probably, we were just hypothesizing. He's probably telling him like, these guys are douchebags, but you know they didn't do anything wrong, whatever. So like, anyway, so the customs process was relatively simple, and now we are officially in Canada. Rob, this is the first time you've been in another country in quite some time, I imagine.
Since Japan, actually.
Which was when?
In summer 2019.
Damn. So I was up in Canada not that long ago, but it's nice to be back once again outside of the U.S. There she flies, the Canadian, well, not the Canadian flag, that is the Quebec flag right there. And we just stopped at like literally the first thing because Rob wanted to check his phone and he was having problems with that. But there you go. It says Quebec on the sign there. I don't know where we are, but it smells kind of like, I don't mean this in a negative way, but I guess there's no way to say this positively. It smells like horses. This is right beyond the border, but there you go. We are in Quebec. So now that we're all settled in at this very local chain called the Dazine, how do you pronounce it? Dazine. Okay, sorry, the Dazine. I'm not familiar with this. Anyway, now that we're here, we're gonna head over to another place. What's it called? Wilmiat. Yeah, that's where we're going, to the Wilmiat. And I hear it's like a grocery store. in all seriousness, what we're gonna go do is we're going to go and find like Canadian snacks and things like that, versions of things you would know potentially as an American, but they just have like exclusive versions of that. Sometimes that can be like different versions of sodas. Like the last time I was in Canada, they had like maple Coca-Cola, just random stuff like that. That's like what we're on the hunt for. Okay, so we left the Walmart. We got a couple of things. Maybe I'll show you that in a bit. It was a little disappointing, to be honest, but that's probably because I was in Vancouver really not that long ago. So all the new exciting stuff was new and exciting over there, except for a couple of things. Now we are on our way to
Le Belle et le Boeuf.
And why are we going there?
Pour Poutine.
So we're gonna get some poutine. Now I've had poutine before, but only in like Ontario, and it was terrible. But that's, as I was told, it's like, yeah, because you got it in Ontario. That's like having Chicago style deep dish pizza at an airport in Los Angeles. It doesn't make any sense. And that's a completely valid point. So,
I thought poutine was local to the Michigan.
I had somebody, credit if you're watching, I had somebody who was arguing that it was like poutine was exclusive to like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And I was like, the word is French, dude. But no, anyway, just hazing you, man. But yeah, no. So we're gonna go over there and try to get this legit stuff, and it's gonna be super exciting, hopefully. And I'm game. You're excited?
Allons-y!
Oh, bonjour. Le Coq Frit. This is a, I guess, a fried chicken place. So we might go back here later. So this is my first time in Montreal, or actually in all of Quebec. I've never been here. It was always kind of described to me as like the Paris of North America. Funny enough, I've been to Paris like 4 times. This is the only street where I kind of get that vibe. You know, obviously everything's in French, that makes sense, but also just the little boutique style of everything. And then even down to like street signs are very, very similar to the way they are in Paris. So yeah, I'm not gonna say all of Montreal is like that, but this is pretty neat. Okay, we're here and it's loud. La Belle La Bouffe Burger Bar. I can't read French, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to try and get the Montreal poutine, but with no pickles, because pickles are the devil's cucumbers. They're disgusting, they're not food. But without that, that should be quite solid. So Rob got this huge beer. What's this thing called?
Blonde de Chamblay.
Okay, give him a taste test for beer drinkers. Anything else to say about this?
It's very big.
Very big. All right, if you like beer, and I guess whatever Rob's doing, you have that option. All right, my poutine is here. It looks good. What did you get? You're all set?
Classic.
What are your thoughts?
Very good.
I'm about to dive in. It was really good. I'd highly say, I would easily say the best poutine I've ever had in my life. Granted, frame of reference is very small, but I would say it was absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend that place if you're ever in the area.
The beer was better.
I would have to just trust him on that. It's probably true. One place I would absolutely never recommend, though, is this train wreck to society. This is the place that aspires to be Little Caesars, which is inedible. So I am back at the hotel now. I've got the, as Rob called it, the spoils of war. So we just pick up some junk food, basically. I know it looks like a lot, and I'm fat, and I shouldn't be eating this, so I really, actually, very rarely do. I pick this stuff up and give them to, like, friends and cousins and stuff who don't get to travel as much. The standard Mars bar, which has long since been extinct in the United States, is very obviously common up here, so bring back a pack of those. This one I actually bought when I was in Vancouver, and one of my cousins kind of just took it without anybody else getting to try it, so I'm just buying another one to replace it. The O. Henry bar, my sister's boyfriend was actually like, oh man, I wish that they still made those. Well, they do, just up here, so I'm going to bring him one. Then there's other mutant version of it that has like pretzels in it. A cool type of Kit Kat I have not seen before. Canada's usually pretty good about odd Kit Kats, the chunky one with caramel in this case. And then these are actually, for me, is just K-Cups. And I try to get ones that are Canadian. I'm not super familiar with this brand, but it is a product of Canada. Chocolate, raspberry, truffle, sounds solid. And I actually absolutely detest Tim Hortons. I think an actual Tim Hortons location is like possibly the worst thing any human being could ever consume. It's horrible. Anyway, but to be fair though, their bagged and boxed coffees like this are actually good. I don't know why this stuff isn't what they put in the stores, but this stuff's solid, but the stuff in the stores, bleh. Rob and I wanted breakfast. This place looks pretty good, so we're gonna go inside and see what kind of crazy fun breakfast foods we can have. I think I'm gonna get a savory crepe, the apple and cheddar. I've never even heard of a savory crepe, though Rob tells me it is a thing. But I also feel that's going to be light, so that'll allow me to function throughout the day, and then later I can get more food where I can get fatter.
I am a millennial hipster douchebag, so I got avocado toast.
What do you think so far?
Very good.
That looks ridiculous. Mine, I've had so far, I've only had one bite, is phenomenal. I wouldn't have thought that cheese and apples and like syrup and whatever, I don't know, I just wouldn't have thought of that as a combination. I just dropped my phone before filming this clip. Right here, last bite I've got. This is like taste bud perfection. That's why he's dying laughing, because he saw me drop my phone into my plate. Anyway, yeah, highly recommend it if you're ever out in the Montreal area. Check out this place called Express. These crepes were ridiculous. Like the potatoes were kind of okay, fruit is fruit, but this crepe I had, unreal. We took a little route. We stopped back at the hotel, recharged, and now we're out on the town. It's a little late, unfortunately, so sorry if everything's a little dark. But anyway,
it's romantic.
Yes, I'm hoping to get some later from you. But no, so for those who've never been to Montreal, this is my first time here, and I believe I described it to you as basically the love child of Paris and New York City together. Like if they had a kid somehow, it's this. Like this is the very European district-y area, but then there's the more metropolitan, modern New York style area. And I say New York very specifically, not as a generic term of big city, because I do travel. So like that's the flavor, is it's New York and Paris combined, and it's pretty neat so far. But anyway, we're off to a very specific restaurant that you have selected. Would you tell them anything about it?
Yes, it's called, c'est intitulé Mot d'Avis. It's Boucherie Steakhouse.
Yeah, I don't know. He might have just cursed me out in French. I have no idea. But yeah, I guess this is what you called it, Old Montreal. You know more about the history of the city than I do.
Montreal, waterfront district right along the river.
Yeah, which is down there. Focus.
There's
Yeah.
like a big...
The Ferris wheel back there. Yeah, no, this is, like I said, this is my first time in Montreal this whole trip, and it's been pretty cool. But I honestly, like I said, and I said it, you kind of had this weird Paris, New York fusion vibe before we came to this area.
Yes.
So it's pretty neat. And of course you have the poutine everywhere. All right, Rob, what's the name of the street that we're on right now?
Rue Saint-Paul.
Right, so this street, highly recommend this. This is like really very neat, especially if you've never, like, this is a Portuguese restaurant, shout out to my girlfriend. If you've never been to Europe and you just don't think that's ever gonna happen for you, but you're in North America and you just want a kind of a taste of it, I've never seen a better sample of it. Not even at the Disney Epcot area where they try to fake it out. That was mostly a joke. This is like legitimate.
This, I mean, it's not as authentic as
It's Disney's Epcot Center. I mean, you know, come on, but like this is almost real. We have arrived at our restaurant destination. What is it called?
Mot d'Avis.
Okay, let's go take a look at it right here. Now, Rob, why did we pick this?
Because it's a good-looking steakhouse with jazz music.
It's a good-looking steakhouse with jazz music, is what he says. But I believe earlier he was basically saying it's a lot of French cuisine, so he's excited about it. Homie over here really likes French food, right? Yeah, so this is supposed to be the more legit stuff. Again, we're in Old Montreal, which is very, very Parisian. I mean, they might find that insulting, I'm not really sure, but it seems very legitimate. So we are inside, and we have ordered our food, and I am not a wine person, or I don't drink, but he's got a recommendation for you. What is this?
Chipoutier, it's a Côte Rhône, so it's a Rhône Valley wine.
And your thoughts?
It's very good.
I mean, do you have any, is it oaky or something? I don't know. He's
Slightly more tannic.
okay. There you go. If you like wine, I guess that's a suggestion. So Rob ordered some, what is it?
Snails, escargot.
Yeah, he ordered some escargot. Now I've had this actually in Paris, and it surprised me. It's like eating little bits of steak. That's the only way I can describe
Well,
it.
the way I describe it is that the snails are not important. They are simply the delivery mechanism for the butter and garlic.
Fair, fair. Well, go ahead, try one. Let's get a little micro review here.
Wonderful.
I will take that as a positive. So there you go. Rob officially endorses the escargot here. My steak is here. Steak and fries. We got black truffle mushroom mayonnaise to go with it. Rob's already eating his. Quick thoughts?
Already eating, can't think.
All right. So far, so good. This just, the look of the steak here, it just looks like that steak from The Matrix. Awesome. Well, that's my end result. That's his. What would you?
It's my end result.
So tell us a little bit about this place. You like it?
It's fantastic.
What was the name?
Modavi.
I can't pronounce it, but you guys should check it out. The steak. Say again?
Modavi.
Modavi. We decided to spring for this dessert brownie caramel ice cream thing. What are your thoughts?
Just kidding. Okay.
That just means it's good. What did you think, Rob?
I thought it was wonderful. Good conversation, good food, good drink. Très bien.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But the best part was, as he points out, we had weird conversations.
Yes.
Not only do we meet these really nice dudes from Canada who are also big fans of like America in general, because they're like, oh, we're going to these, you know, we want to go to these places, and huge hockey guys, so they were super jealous that I was from Chicago because we won the Stanley Cup 3 times in like 5 years, and we don't even care about hockey. But not only that, as we're sitting there, the best moment was,
So this woman on her bachelorette party came up to the bar and she's doing a scavenger hunt. So she needs to get a condom for a scavenger hunt, and apparently none of us had condoms. But a extremely attractive woman at the bar was like, yeah, sure, here's it.
and not only did she do that, she did it kind of like reluctantly, and her dad was next to her and he goes, what? Like, why do you have that? It was amazing.
Yes.
But
Wonderful
anyway,
meal.
yes, if you're ever in Montreal, we definitely recommend.
Modavi.
And they also have free Wi-Fi. So we are now back at the Walmart to go ahead and get a couple of drinks that we saw earlier, some exclusive sodas like Barks flavors that I've never seen before, spiced cherry and a yellow cream soda, and he's also going to get the raspberry Coca-Cola, which is quite good. The raspberry, there's a maple Coca-Cola, doesn't taste anything like maple, but you could try it if you just like Coke, but then just buy Coke. Anyway, this is the end of this particular journey to Montreal, and as one door closes, another one opens. My next journey up will be, well, today, as I end up in Philadelphia, but you'll have to see that later. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe. All the information's in the description to follow me on social media. Maybe this guy as well. He's got an Instagram page. But Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Patreon, all that stuff, it's all down there. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all later.
Au revoir, bitches.
Au revoir.